Hey, greetings everyone. Daniel Lowry back with another episode in our Learning Python series. Today we're going to take a look at making HTTP requests using Python, getting web pages programmatically through Python. Fun, right? It's going to be interesting, as well as more conditional logic with if-else statements. Let's get to it. I know you're burning for it. I know I sure am as well. So here we are. I'm at my terminal. And I think we'll start with, honestly, with HTTP requests. All right, if you don't have that installed, you can just do like a pip install requests, like that. Sometimes you might have to use, if it's not aliased, it's pip3 install requests. And that's how you would get that installed. If you're wondering, do I have it installed? Really easy way to solve that problem is to go to Python 3 and type in import requests. If you get an error that does not exist, then no, you do not have it installed. It's just an easy way to figure that out. Obviously, I do. I think it is part of standard library at this point. But let's get out of the IDE real quick. And let's jump over to the web browser. And let's look this up. And of course, as you always do, you need to learn about these things. Documentation. So Python requests. And you might see PyPy here. AI, nowadays is very popular, and that's fine. You can read the AI stuff if you like. But this is really what you're looking for right here. Requests, HTTP for humans at requests.readthedocs.io. Click that link. This is the documentation for this stuff, right? So, Requests is an elegant and simple HTTP library for Python built for human beings. Well, that's good to know because it used to be, well, it still is kind of URL lib. You can use that as well. It's another function of the standard library. You can pull that in to do this, but requests seems to be a way easier way to do it. Okay? So that's what I'm going to teach you. I like easy. I don't know about you. But again, we have all these lovely things, and it shows you some example, which I love that they start off with an example. And you can see a request.get. And if you don't know your HTTP methods, right, it's going to be the more prevalent ones: get, post, right? Those are going to be your big dogs. Sometimes you see put and delete. If that is happening on a site that you are at, that's not good. That's a security problem. That should not be available for everyone, right? But get and post are going to be your big dogs that you typically use. So that's why you see it here, right? Requests, gets, and other things you can do. And you'll notice it's throwing it in a variable called R. And you can name it anything you want. You can call it ARRR. If you're feeling piratey today, I get me requests any way I can, right? Request.get is what's going to give it to you, though. So that is one of the methods or functions that is available in the requests module. And it's fairly simple, right? It's just grabbing the URL. You throw it the URL. If it has auth or something like that, you can pass those parameters as well. And then you can do things like, hey, tell me the status code of R. What was returned? This goes back to good web-based knowledge. If you don't have a lot of web knowledge, a status code of 200, and you can look these up. Let's do that real quick. Let's do HTTP status codes. And MDN web docs or Wikipedia. I'll go Wikipedia. I'm feeling Wikipedia today. Why not? Maybe this is a mistake. Who knows? Okay, well, this isn't too bad. Kind of helps out a bit. It says anything in the 100 range is informational responses. The request was received, continuing the process. Anything in the 200 is going to be a success. Hey, whatever you requested was successfully received, understood, and accepted. 300s are redirection codes. So further action is needed to be taken in order to complete the request. We got it. But I got to do some more processing on my end before. So maybe I need to redirect you to another part of the site or do something else. Here are the fun ones. 400, right? You ever see 404, page not found, right? The request contains bad syntax or cannot be fulfilled. I don't know where the page is. This was a bad request. That's completely wrong. And the problem, it's with you, right? So if you see 400 stuff, that's why they say it's a client error, right there. And then finally, 500, that's server side. That's server errors. Hey, I got what you want, but for whatever reason, I could not make that work. That's on me, player. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but it ain't gonna happen. You get a 500 of some kind. Okay, so now that we know what requests we're or what those are, those status codes are, we can see that when we look in this page, that if I get like a 200 that we see here from this r.status code, right? That would mean it was successfully received, accepted, processed. It was all good. Everything was good. And we like that. You can see what kind of encoding you're using, what are the headers, and you can specify the headers that you want, right? The text of the actual page, you can say, I want to read the text of the actual page. There it is, right? If I want JSON, which is JavaScript object notation, if I'm not mistaken, right? There you go. And then, of course, beloved features. Requests is ready for today's web. Yes, it surely is. And really what you want to do is go into this user guide part and look at that pip install requests. We saw this, didn't we? But really, this is where we're camping out today. There's a lot to this. Like a lot. Right? Like it's fairly usable, okay? But for us and our intents and purposes today, we just want to make a simple request. So I'm going to click on that, which is going to take me here and let me know I need to import requests. Yes, we do, which we will do. What else do we need to do? If I want to do a get request, which is exactly what we're going to do. I'm in a little too blown up there. There we go. We just r equals, and we put it into a variable name so that we can kind of fetch that information fairly easily later. We can update that information. We can do anything we want. We only work with the variable name. It just makes our lives easier. So request.gets, open close parentheses, and inside of that, we tell it this is the website I wish to request for. Okay, well, we have our website, which is this. And right now, we're not going to worry about doing the login stuff. I just want to make sure that I can do a request to a website successfully. And then it'll have to wait till the next episode. We'll do post stuff, like make the post request for this. Hopefully, I think we should be able to do that. We just won't have time. It'll be way too long of an episode if I drag you down that road today. Let's just get this under our belt. So we're going to want to make that request right there. It's time to start writing some code, kids. All right. Let's get my text editor of choice open, which is Mousepad. I will file, open, and I think it was brute force V2. Was that us? Yeah, there we go. This was us right here. You saw a bunch of others. That's just me testing things, getting ready for your next episodes. Don't jump ahead of me. But we are having fun. So this was the code we left off on. We are obviously going to change this a bit. So one of the things I want to do is obviously come over here and import our requests. Well, that was difficult. That was a lot. And if we feel so inclined, we can even comment this code, right? Hey, importing requests, UESTs, library to contact. I can't do it. Contact target URL. Okay. That lets us know what's going on there. And then here we've got all the try and accept stuff that we did before. We've got our banner and everything like that. And I feel like that's not what we're going to do this time, right? But ultimately, you know what we'll do? Let's go play around. We'll come back and we have made a simple change. Nothing crazy so far. But let's test this stuff before we get too crazy. Let's jump back in the IDE. So just Python 3. We'll import requests, and we'll just kind of test this so we can get it under our fingertips, like something we have experience with at this point. And we'll do just like what they said, r equals requests.get, and give it the URL, which if you've got your BWAP up and running, if you're following me along or whatever website that you're using, I would suggest obviously doing the same thing because it's specific to this. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'll put it in the code. Paste it in. Don't forget your double or single quote, whatever you started with. Make sure you end with it like that. And then hit enter. Oh, what did I do? What am I missing here? That should be fine. Request.get. Bing, bing, bing. Let's go see. I'm probably just missing something and it's not blatant to me. All right, request.get. That looks right. Okay. All right. This is weird. Oh, man, I think I just maybe, there's a fat finger. I thought Python threw that backslash on me. I was like, okay, what's going on there? Isn't that fun? Don't you love it when your computers go, I fooled you because you accidentally hit something. All right, now we can play around with R, right? So if I want R dot status code, right? Oh, I don't need the, I just need code. Bam. You see, I get a 200. So I was successful at grabbing this page. I could do r.text, T-E-X-T, and there's the HTML for the BWAP, and you can see stuff like right around there. There's a URL that references BWAP and itsecgames.blogspot because they're the ones that created the BWAP. But there is the text, charset UTF-8. I think that if we look back on our documents, yeah, we got put, delete, head options. We can make all these requests, but we are sticking with get. I think it was back here. Yeah, they showed us a few examples like, hey, do I want to look at the encoding? Because this site says it's UTF-8 right there, charset UTF-8. So what was it again? Encoding, duh. Let's get there. So r.encoding. This is ISO 8859-1. Is that different? Is that something, Trey? At the end of the day, I don't think that's a big deal for what we're doing. But you can play around with this stuff. You can see what it does. And if you want to print out R, you can print R dots, what was it? Status code, bam. And then it'll print that. So you might have to print if you want it to come back to your screen. So for all intents and purposes, this was fairly simple. We should be able to add this to our code very easily. So let's go do it. So let's think of the flow here. The flow is going to be, we're importing sys, we're importing requests, which is all good. And this is where I want to change things, right? I'm going to remove this try. We're not going to do try anymore. We're kind of moving on into conditional logic. I'm going to do if, right? And I'll kind of come down here. And it's going to look a bit like this. So it'll be if, or if this, colon, so give it your statement of what the condition is, then indent, do this, bam, right? And then it'll be elif if you know multiple things you want it to try, elif this, or let's do it this way, elif that, do this, and then I can do another elif other, do this, and then I can just end it with else. It's kind of a catch-all stuff. So just kind of do whatever I put here. It's kind of the default stuff I would want it to run. So that's kind of how this looks like. Okay. So remove that out of there, and let's see if we can make this work. So if we're going to print the banner, we got to give it an if, like if what? All right. So if certain things happen, but what certain things? Well, I got to check and see, did the user put something after in the command line arguments? Is there a command line argument following the actual code itself or the script name? So I got to do some stuff. And this is where I'm going to need len, the length. So if the length of sys.argv is, and we're going to say greater than 1, which means, right, there is going to be the command line script name. So there is going to be one thing, even though that is position 0. Fun stuff, right? Don't forget, as we saw before, right? We used this stuff before. So we're going to say if the length is greater than 1, then we're going to put it. Now, you might be like, what's this? If you've been to a math class, right? You remember math? You got the alligators, right? The one alligator eating the other alligator. If you go this way, it's greater than. If you go the other way, it's less than. So on this side versus that side, this is the greater than symbol. So if this is greater than 1, so there are 2 or more, then print the banner and then grab target URL. So we're not changing anything else. And then we can print the target URL. But you know what? Let's print some more. And we'll say, actually, I want to pretty this up because I hate the way this looks. I like this kind of stuff. Just makes my eye track it so much better. I'm going to do print, and I'm going to print out, let's see, do another one of these. I'll say response code. Response code. Bing, bing, don't forget your comma, and then we'll put r dot status underscore code. Yay. Okay, I think that should be good. I'm looking at my code. It's weird when you're looking at your own code. It's fun when no one's watching you and you can make all the mistakes in the world. But here, I can't. So, all right, so we've got that down. That should work. Okay, now we're going to change this except to, well, I don't have an elif, so I'm just going to use else here because I don't have another thing I want to put. So I'm just going to use else. This is the other thing it should do. And let's see. And by the way, you can use try, except, and if and else all together if you like. You can nest them. You can nest multiple ifs together. If this and if that and if that, then do something. So you can get crazy with the nesting of ifs and try, excepts and all sorts of stuff. Just knowing what they do helps you kind of control that flow. And as you work through your code, you'll figure it out on what you should be doing. All right. So else, we're not going to say this is kind of the, because we won't need this anymore. No target specified. It will do something regardless of whether you put something on the command line or not. So what we're going to say is if you didn't put something on the command line, if sys.argv is anything other than greater than 1, then it's going to run this statement. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this to, hey, we just don't need any of this right here. We're going to remove all that. Bam. And then we're going to do target URL equals input. Remember taking input? Wasn't input fun? I like it. It was my favorite, right? Enter target URL. Bam. Like so. And now I have inputs. And now I can do, oh, you know what we didn't do? We never even, in the, we'll get to it. We didn't do this, which we should have done because I just forgot, which is r equals requests dot gets, and then just give it target URL, right? That's what makes life easy. And then we can print the whole same thing, basically this. Like I can grab this whole business. Actually, I only need, what did I start? Yeah, that's what I need. Bam, I'll copy and I will paste. I hope I got that. I missed a little thing, a little open make. It's fun copy pasting, but there you go. So it'll tell me what the target URL was, and it will print the response code that I got. Obviously, I need to come up here and add that as well. So the target URL is there. So now I can do r equals requests quests dot gets, bam, and then just target URL. You'll notice I'm not putting quotations around these things, right? No quotations here because it is not a string that I want it to try. It's not a string like an HTTP blah, 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 blah. That's all going to get grabbed from here. So target URL is going to be whatever is put on the command line. If nothing is put on the command line, it's going to ask for the inputs of what the URL is and then try to do that. So it's just a different way of getting at it. Ultimately, you should have the same like output. I think we should be good to go. I'm going to save this as, remember we want to revision this. So I'm going to save as, And we're going to call this a brute force v3. That looks good. And now we've got brute force v3. If I've missed anything, it will complain. And it'll be fun. And then you can comment your code and have a good time doing it. Let's get out of here. Exit. Clear. And we have a brute force of v3 right here. So it should work whether I give it a URL as a command line argument or not. Right? So I'll start off with Python 3 brute force -v3.python. This should work. Enter target URL. I can do that. Let's go grab that, which is here. Copy. Paste it in. Shift Control V to do that. Bam. Oh, look. Target URL, response code. Everything worked. I didn't put the banner in there. That was a problem. See, this is why we test our code, kids. I should get the banner if I do it this way, because I didn't forget. Yeah, there's the banner, right? Target URL, response code 200. We have made some HTTP requests. We have used conditional logic. Obviously, I got to go back in here and I got to say, don't forget the banner. You crazy kook. I'm going to just copy it. Go down into the else block. I was so excited about showing you how to do if else that I just forgot. Control V. Yeah, Mr. Banner, you're a little crazied out. There we go. That should look good. I'll Control S. Let's try it again, just because my OCD won't let me not do it. That's better. That's some more better butter, right? I like it. It makes me feel good. Put our... Whoa. Oh, I totally threw some code in there. I thought I still had my URL on the clipboard. Copy. You'll notice you get errors when you do weird stuff. Let's try that again. All right, that was good. This should work. Shift Control V. So that, bam. Everything works. This was fun. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time. What did we learn today, though, right? We learned about if-else, and that's a super useful conditional capability and those comparison operators that greater than, less than. Honestly, I forgot a few of them for you. Let me show those to you really quickly. So a couple that you can use are, you know what? Yeah, no, let's do it here. So like this. So you can use equals. So just two equal signs. That's what that is, even though the thing does it for me, where it kind of connects them like a line. That's just mousepad doing its thing. But it's two equals. So double equals means this equals this. This should equal each other. If it does, you can do X, Y, or Z. You can do does not equal, right? You'll notice it put the slash through it. I don't like that, actually, that it's doing that for you. Let me go over here. I'll just nano stuff. So double equals means this equals something. Oh. And then you have, I don't need that. Quit. Yes, I know. Thank you. Then you have does not equal, like that. Then you have greater than. You also have less than. You also have greater than or equal to. You also have less than or equal to. And all of those come in handy from time to time. And if you don't fat finger your keyboard as much as I do, you won't get weird, stupid errors like I did. So I'll Control X. No, I do not wish to save that. Thank you very, very much. And speaking of thank you very much, thank you for watching. More to come. More to come. That's right. But we did make some headway today because now we know how to make an HTTP request, at least a GET request. We are going to make a POST request. So we're going to see that, how we feed that information. That's going to be up in the next episode. So definitely come on back for that. We're getting closer and closer to being able to do some real damage against that website for that brute forcing that ultimately we want to be able to do. But I'm trying to teach you all the things that you need to know about Python on our way to that mountaintop. So you got to come back for the next episode. Thanks for watching this one. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to know when it comes out. Drop some likes hot and follow me on LinkedIn. You can check me out there. I'm always posting stuff there. I'm pretty active there as well. We've got Cybercast IRL on Fridays at 10. So that is a live stream. You can join and talk to me and ask questions and interact with the other people in the community, which is awesome. Hopefully, I'll see you there. And until next time, keep hacking.